You guys don't do AEW, right? It's just like WWE for the wrestling. Oh, dang.
Okay.
You guys get deep.
All right, cool.
Hey, I think I can hear us on the stream right now.
What?
Welcome. This is the Illuminerdi. We're here for another episode of our weekly watch along for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episode number 5. My name is Braxton Timberlake. With me, I got Caitlin.
Hey guys, can't wait. This episode's going to be really exciting.
Coming around the corner, we got TC.
Will the real U.S. agent please stand up? We've seen his true colors, and now it's going to be the episode where all the backlash happens. So I'm hyped for it.
I'm here for the drama. And rounding out the quartet, we got Richard.
What's up, guys? This is going to be a good week. That's all I'm going to say right now.
Well, that's the word. The word is we're going to cry. We're going to have joy. We're going to get all kinds of stuff. So I'm really excited for what's happening here. So let's get into it. Last episode, we had a lot of crazy stuff going on. Of course, the most shocking and one of the most memorable moments in MCU, I guess, recent history was seeing John Walker massacre somebody. It was standing there with the bloody shield. Just really proud of his work. You know what I mean? So with that leaving up, that being the cliffhanger, what can we expect here? Caitlin, you actually wrote a really interesting piece about John Walker. Can you tell us a little bit about your interpretation of the character and what's going on with him right now?
I definitely can, but right before I do, I wanted to just say thank you for joining us in the chat, Donnie Pearson and Tester Cantlin. And of course we remember you, Tester. You've been great.
We were birthday last week.
Yeah, John Walker is he's kind of an interesting character to me. This whole concept of is he the right person for Captain America and how he has this sense of ego and entitlement of course he's the right person, but the core of Captain America really comes down to not who's a good soldier, but being a good man, being a good person. So he very much falls more into the category of good soldier. He's kind of what Dr. Erskine was afraid of what Captain America would become. And now we really see the results of why Erskine was so specific in his choice of someone like Steve Rogers, someone who respects strength, respects just compassion, and is at his core a good person over a good soldier.
Absolutely. I mean, we see the consequences of his actions, and I'm hoping to see things go down the chain and see where it leads from here. Richard, what are you thinking about the actions of John Walker and where he could go this next episode?
I mean, he's going to have some stuff to answer for, after last episode. I mean, part of me, a small part of me gets why he was angry. Obviously, he lost a soldier. He lost his closest friend. But like I said, he's got some stuff to answer for because he just murdered somebody in cold blood, in brutal fashion, in front of about 200 to 300 witnesses, a lot of them videotaping the whole thing. And I'm sure it's out on the internet about 5 seconds after it happened. And I mean, we got some stuff to look out for. I mean, is the U.S. government going to cover it up? There's the whole thing, obviously, with Sam and Bucky. I think he's in a world of trouble right now.
I would like to say very quickly, it's interesting that you pointed out, Richard, that he lost his best friend. And so you have a very small amount of sympathy for that. Because the thing to remember is Steve was in the exact same position. He lost Bucky in the heat of battle, but he didn't react like this. We didn't see him just completely go vicious attacking people. He mourned the death, of course, but he just kept on going with the same intensity that he had always had.
And when I say sympathy, I mean like a 1 out of 100 or so. That's about it. It's really not much.
I mean, they set up John Walker as having this very short trigger, and it's straight to his character how he acted emotionally after his friend died. But the image of him standing there with the bloody shield, I mean, he got exposed. John Walker exposed. Everyone knows who he is now. And I'm very curious to see, what Richard said, the backlash, how the government handles it. Are they going to praise it because he killed a terrorist? Or are they going to be like, it's not a good look guy, got to take it with his shield momentarily or suspend him for a little bit. So I'm very curious on how they're going to handle this.
Yeah. I'm expecting the unexpected from the government response. I really don't know which way they're going to go. But just as equally, we still have Sam and Bucky, and we know they're going to go into action. Over this past week, they had a new reveal trailer which showed a little bit more action, a little bit more of the conflict and drama that we can expect. We see that they are facing off with John Walker in a kind of a triangle fashion. I'm excited. Do we think that this is the episode that we're going to finally get the shield back onto the good guy side?
I hope so. I think that I'm curious about when the fight's going to happen. I think if the fight is near the end of the episode, then I would say yes. But if it's at the beginning, I would say it's going to probably be a little tougher because I don't see them getting the shield back immediately.
I think they might play Sam. I think they're playing him, and he's not actually going to become what's that called, Captain America, until the end, where we see him train. It's going to be like a teaser, okay, guys, finally,
Oh, you mean kind of like Spider-Man swinging through the city at the very end, he finally realized his powers.
Yeah, I want to see him. I want Falcon, to take charge and take the mantle and stuff. But I don't know. I haven't seen any teasers. I don't know if he's already in the suit or anything. But
sure, not. No.
Okay, so yeah, I think they're playing him, and they're just gonna tease us at the end.
Well, equal is Bucky. He has a lot of loose plot lines that still have to be resolved. He still has his whole I shouldn't say revenge tour, apology tour for all the people he's done wrong, and they kind of left it off dangling after the first or second episode. Do you think we're going to get any kind of resolution with that in this one, or I think they're going to hold it off to the final episode?
I don't know about this episode, but I hope they come back to it. I mean, I'm thinking back to the last time we saw it, Zemo was looking at it on the plane ride in episode 3, right before Bucky almost crushed his throat with his metal hand, which, super threatening. But I do hope they come back to him. That I'm thinking maybe like where we leave off with Bucky at the very end of the series, like a Sam becoming Captain America, Bucky goes back to that once the fight's a little bit closer to over.
Well, Bucky has some new names to add to the list because he definitely wronged the Dora Milaje and just all of Wakanda essentially. So
yeah,
make the list a little bit longer.
That's a great point. Do we think we're gonna get some more Wakanda action this episode?
Hope so.
I would be happy if we did.
Yeah.
I would say just because I think this is the second to last episode, and the last episode is going to be more focused on who's taking the shield, but hopefully we get some more Wakanda stuff.
Yeah, and we also have the subplot of Carly from the Flag Smashers threatening Sam's family. What do we think is going to happen with the sister? Do we think he's going to try to go back and protect her? Do we think that they're going to kind of leave that dangling? Sam was actually, for the first time, we really actually saw him personally disturbed by something. And when she threatened his family, it seemed like it was a big step in the character development. Think we're going to get anything with that? Yeah.
I was so interested by the fact that we saw her threaten the family, and then when Sam confronts her, she says, "I would never hurt them." It's this dichotomy of, is she lying? Is she being honest? So I think that him sending them away and hopefully to someone that can like help keep them safe, I feel like that's kind of going to be the like main portion of it. I think if the family becomes like in danger, then we'll go back to it. But I mean, there's a lot to do to have that become a major plot point of him going home.
And of course, one of the surprise stars of the show, Baron Zemo, kind of just trailed off at the end. Where is he? What's going on with him? How is he going to figure back into this? What do you think, Richard?
Well, I mean, he obviously destroyed the super soldier serum, whatever Carly had left outside of the one vial the U.S. agent found. I'll be really curious to see like what direction he goes. Does he go full villain against Sam and Bucky? What exactly his motive is? Because it looks like, I mean, his whole thing is wiping out super soldiers because he doesn't think they should exist. That's been his whole thing since Civil War. And I want to see where they pick up with him with that, just since he did what he did at the end of the last episode.
Yeah, I mean, in some senses, he actually he succeeded in most of his plan. I mean, he destroyed most of the serum. Yeah, I mean, there's only a few more people out there, so that is interesting. What do you think, TC?
Bucky's still out there.
All right. Yeah.
So well, there's a rumored tearjerker. So I do want to see Zemo come back and finish the job. I think the only thing that's gonna make me kind of emotional is to be the end of Bucky. So that would be crazy, and I would applaud Disney Plus and these MCU shows for taking a risk and killing off one of their major characters, and it would give me hope and inspiration for more series moving forward, that they're not going to be all prelude fillers. So yeah, here's to hope and something major happens with that.
Oh wow, okay, that's a dramatic step.
It is.
Okay, well, let's see. I mean, I really want to see the Mouse take some risks too. I don't know. It's hard to see if they would or not. Another plot line that I thought has been totally left off and has to be addressed is Isaiah Bradley. What happened? It was very powerful in the episode, and it's kind of just lingered, and it's almost like a shadow over the series. So I really hope that we get a scene of some kind of reconciliation or understanding from Sam. How do you think that Isaiah Bradley could fit into the rest of the series from here?
I think that he could be kind of part of the catalyst for why Sam would take on the Shield. I think it'd be really interesting to see Sam still sort of grappling with it, but leaning towards becoming Captain America, and kind of for that final push going to talk to Isaiah, because it's so interesting how, like you're saying, how much of a shadow he has over the series, because it makes sense that he has that same shadow over the legacy of Captain America, and he's only been in one scene.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I would really like to see a scene between him and Sam.
Absolutely. What about you, Richard?
Well, I mean, I want to see more stuff with him, because I thought the one scene he was in was so well done and hit on such an emotional level. But on another level, they've got a Young Avengers team to set up, and Eli Bradley is his grandson. So I would be shocked. I don't think we're going to get like a full Eli Bradley Patriot moment by the end of this series, but they're going to have to do something to set it up, because the Young Avengers are coming.
That's actually a great point.
The guy who played Isaiah Bradley is a phenomenal actor. I do want to see him come back. And maybe the tearjerker and that everyone's talking about is Isaiah kind of sacrificing himself to save
That's
Eli.
Not a bad idea.
He save Eli, and then Eli kind of is like wants to avenge his father or grandfather. Yeah. So I'm interested to see him come back. Definitely, he has to come back. I mean, they teased. You can't just like forget about him completely. There has to be a payoff.
Yeah, and also just one other thing before you go, Brax. The episode is up, and it's called Truth. So.
Oh wow.
That's the title of the episode. Is just Truth.
Okay, so that absolutely means we're going to get some more Isaiah Bradley in this episode. Well timed, Richard. Very well timed. Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, the Isaiah Bradley character is based out of a comic run called Truth. Red, White, and Black.
Yes.
Yeah, Red, White,
and so that makes sense. Ooh, okay, all right.
Gears turning.
Yeah. Okay, we got more stuff that they still have to go. There's a lot of stuff that happened in 2 episodes that we need answers to. We need the power broker.
Yeah.
What's going on with that? What do you guys thinking is happening with that? Because that's almost like that was like a big mystery, and people were all excited, and it seems like it's kind of trailed off. Do we have any thoughts about who that possibly could be?
I feel like it's too late to just introduce some random guy as the power broker. I think because they haven't introduced anyone yet in that role, I think there's more of a chance that it's going to be Sharon because we've seen her, or maybe she's. I don't know. I feel like it's too late. Like they can't just introduce power broker in episode 5. That's just my opinion.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. What do you think, Halen?
Well, I think it depends on how big of a role Power Broker is going to have in the MCU. If they're going to be kind of a bigger character within the MCU, I could see them waiting to introduce them. But I was also the other day I was thinking about if this is Sharon. Emily Van Camp said that Sharon's main goal in this is to get pardoned to return home, and unless she was completely lying to kind of throw people off, it feels like being Power Broker just for this criminal mastermind standpoint would be an odd way to get there. So what would be interesting to me is if Power Broker was sort of like a front or part of kind of a like Black Ops mission for the US in some way to continue developing the super soldier serum without government oversight. So maybe working for someone like Thaddeus Ross.
All right. So I want to get into this theory. Let's call it the hashtag the Apple theory. It was actually brought to light over on the Nerdist, and it's a brilliant theory. So it goes back to a quote that director Ryan Johnson said during his Knives Out promotional tour. And he explained something, an industry, a Hollywood secret about how things work in the business. And one of the things that many people don't know is the difference between Androids and iPhones, or Macs and PCs. And Apple has a clause where they don't let you use, they only let good guys use their iPhones. So if you look at any movie,
yeah,
it's always iPhones, right? But they don't let the bad guys use their iPhones. And if there's ever a bad guy, they have some kind of Android. Do you mind pulling up the picture, Shay? So with that being said, in the series, we see Sam using an iPhone at different points. We see Bucky using an iPhone at different points. And we also see Sharon Carter using a phone, but it's not an iPhone, which is really random.
Wow. Okay.
And that is the Apple theory. And it's such a like a random thing, but if you really think about it, it makes like 100% sense, particularly in this case. So I wonder if that's the key. Is that the key to all of this? So we shall
Apple
see.
clause.
We shall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like the
It's
coolest
not-
Easter egg to look at for every movie and TV series.
Right.
Wow.
So if you look at the example Nerdist brought up was if you look at Knives Out, spoiler alert for Knives Out. I want to say the actual villain isn't using an iPhone. Everybody else is. So you could tell like straight off the bat. So it's really funny. It's an interesting quote. So go check them out for that. And let's keep that in mind while we're watching this episode.
Wow.
We'll see if the what's it called, the pattern stays true.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even a pattern. It's an actual like a business statement by them where they actually don't let it. So I mean, which is bizarre. I mean, I think you'd want to have your stuff marketed however you want to market it, but yeah, it is what it is. So
That'd be such an interesting turn for her if she was fully in the villain role, because she has this legacy. Like, she is Peggy Carter's niece. She grew up with her and hearing about Captain America and everything. So to have her just
right.
completely like not only resentment, not only anger, but just, I mean, if you're full on villain at this point, it must be hatred, you know? She's so past like, because then you have the question of why is she helping Sam? Well, if she's a villain, is she helping Sam or is she using him as a means to an end?
Yeah. I mean, with that being said,
What
you
if
know,
you're an anti-hero? If you're in the middle, you can use both.
What's John Walker's phone?
Oh my god.
we gotta look. We gotta watch. It's not an iPhone. I can guarantee that.
Right.
Especially after last episode.
Yeah,
But I mean, you know, it could also indicate it doesn't necessarily mean that she is the power broker, but she could be on the wrong side of the fence here, right?
She could be working for him. Yeah.
All right, she could be working or him or her or whatever. Okay, so we're promised a tearjerker, and we're promised a big cameo. Do you guys have any guesses what this cameo could be? Who this person could be? What character this could be? How they could fit in? Like, why would they really hype this up after WandaVision? Do you guys have any thoughts?
I was leaning towards it being the power broker, whoever that may be.
I don't want to like say something and then it not happen. But
why not?
I mean, old man Steve, could it be him?
That's a possibility. Yeah,
I've been leaning. If anything, I'd lean toward old man Steve, especially because like recently, Chris Evans said he'd be open to a Marvel return after a year or two of not being open to a Marvel return. So I have a feeling we could see old man Steve. If anything.
If we do get Steve, do we think that will take away from the transition of power or make it any less impactful, or do you think we'll add to it?
I think add to it personally.
I think he'll have a moment with Falcon where they talk to each other and Falcon kind of it's going to be an impactful moment where Falcon decides to take on the mantle after that or something like that.
I think it would be really interesting to see, because if it is Steve, I don't see him voicing disappointment. I think that out of everyone, he would probably be the most understanding of Sam's choice. So I think it would be interesting to maybe have that moment of, oh, he gets it. And maybe that's why I should take on the shield, because I feel like the fact that Sam is so hesitant to be Captain America is a big part of the reason why he should be.
There's a moment in MCU history I was actually just thinking about, the second Soul World scene from Black Panther when T'Chaka basically says that T'Challa is ready to come and join him and everything. I think it could maybe be something like that, almost like where he's not disappointed at all, but he's like you were saying, TC, he gets where Falcon's coming from and why he didn't take on the shield. And then, I mean, the Falcon's obviously close to taking that on after what happened last week. So it could be something like that.
Yeah, me personally, I think this old man Steve angle would work, but I just don't think they're going to do it. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it happened. Wouldn't be surprised. But I do think that he's going to get that kind of the head nod, the feeling of empowerment. I think he's going to get that through Isaiah Bradley, because that's where a lot of the history, that's where a lot of his inner conflict, and a lot of his inner conflict he hasn't actually verbalized. We understand what it is. I mean, absolutely, it's would the world accept a Black Captain America, even though he hasn't verbalized it necessarily like that. I mean, it's really clear just in the storytelling. But I think there would be that. Now, on a wild guess, a wild front, I actually think the cameo is going to be kind of like a B-level Marvel character, and I think it's going to be this a name actor that we recognize. We're like, oh my goodness! Then later we have to pull up the Wikipedia and figure out who exactly is that character.
Probably.
But I think that's how it's going to roll out. But my X factor, my wild card guess, not guess, but like hope. I hope it's Shuri.
Sure.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be super
right. So
cool.
now you remember when he first sees Io at the beginning of episode 4, he basically says that Io and Shuri are the ones that helped him out and helped him back to health. And most of the things that they've said in this have actually been paying off. They don't really lay too many loose ends out like that. So I would love to see that. And if you think about what Malcolm Spellman said about the cameo, he said it would be someone who would work great with Thor. And can you just imagine Shuri and Thor in a scene? It would be awesome.
Yeah.
Like magic and science.
At this point, I'd take Thor with anybody, but yeah.
True enough, right? But I don't actually think that's going to be it. But like, if I could do anything in my imagination that would make sense, that would be cool.
It's not too far fetched. Yeah, I think that's actually a good possibility of happening. Yeah,
that's a really good guess, actually. I mean, I didn't see the Wakanda stuff coming at all, but I feel like I should have. So I think Shuri would actually be a pretty cool choice.
Well, I would love to see Bucky have to explain to Shuri that he let her father's killer go.
Correct.
That'd be heavy.
I mean, and then getting a scene similar to that would help tie up that loose end with Wakanda, because we can't end the series like that with him, essentially being, disregarding what Wakanda did for him. So
right.
Yeah, and I think too, like Shuri would be a way more emotional scene than it was with Io, because with Io she was just pissed at him, like she couldn't believe he freed him for any reason whatsoever, and he just felt ashamed of himself. I think it would be a lot more like of a heavy emotional moment with Shuri if that happened.
Yeah, and you would really, speaking of shadows, you'd feel the shadow of Chadwick Boseman without really like, hating on, the loss,
For sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I
So-
did love when he was confronted by Io when he said, "I understand," and she said, "Very little." You know,
Yeah.
it was this moment of like she talked about their anger, their shame, and him really not getting that, which is interesting because he was also a soldier, a warrior, but he doesn't have this sense of like this was not just their job. This was something that they took like as a sacred duty and they failed. So him letting Zemo out of prison and then now having him escape, it's this slap. It's like it's a second slap in the face for the Dora Milaje. But with Shuri, it's this personal feeling of you let the man who killed my father go, and he killed my father as a means to an end, and it was more important to you to figure out to use him as a means to an end to get to your end goal than to honor us and the fact that we helped you, risking our own safety.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So yeah, so let's move on to the next and final part of this, the predictions. What's your wildest prediction before we get into the episode? Richard, what do you got for me for this episode?
Wild predictions. I mean, I'm kind of on the old man Steve thing. I have this feeling that Sam might get the shield by the end of this episode. If he doesn't get it at all until episode 6, I wouldn't be shocked. But if he does, it's going to be like at the very end of this episode, I think.
Well, then let's just get into that real quick then. There's two ways for him to get the shield. One way is the government gives it to him, and the other way is to take it by force.
Mm-hmm. U.S. agent again, you give it to him.
Right, exactly. If they take it by force, does that make them an outlaw? Does that make them a criminal?
I think the best version of Captain America in the world of Marvel today is someone who isn't tied to the government.
I agree.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you explain that a little more?
Well, I think what was so interesting about Steve is he very much started as this tool for propaganda. He was used by the government to be kind of like donate to the war effort. And as time went on, like even in the first Avenger, he goes rogue to rescue Bucky and all of the other soldiers that were taken hostage. But as time goes on, he gets more and more separated from the United States government. And while he's called Captain America, he's very much more about protecting everyone and protecting like the people of the world. So I think that the best version of Captain America, especially in this Marvel universe that's been created, is someone that doesn't have ties to the government. It's someone that is just trying to do the job. He's kind of been doing that since the start, just without the shield or the title. It was part of what was so interesting to me when the Flag Smasher that was with Carly when they got the vials was talking about how she's the right choice for Captain America because she understands the struggles that the people are actually going through. I feel like being tied to the government, you have this disconnect from the actual populace of not only the United States but the world. So if Sam takes the shield by force and he's doing this for himself and for his ability to help people and his need to like not just for his own feelings or to do something that he was told, but because he knows this is right, that's going to be the best version of Cap.
Right. If the government were just hand him the shield, it wouldn't feel the same. Completely agree.
Nah.
Oh, interesting. Well, TC, I really hope that your prediction is wrong. I hope we do get some actual Falcon Captain America action in the final episode. I don't see it happening here.
I hope it's wrong too. Yeah.
Do you think we'll see him in the costume?
I'd be shocked if we didn't for at least a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, there was toy leaks, so
right.
the designs are out there, you know what I mean? But I mean, like TC said, like it makes a lot of sense just to see the final scene of I'm the Falcon, he flies into the screen, you know what I mean? Like, and that'd be disappointing. That'd be very disappointing. I'd actually want to see the new Captain America in action, so we could have to tease what to expect in the movies and Avengers movies to come and all that kind of stuff.
For sure.
I think it'd be very cool if we had it as kind of one of the post-credit scenes because I'm assuming we're going to get a couple. And he was in the full Captain America gear and he was fighting Batroc again. I think that'd be a very cool kind of.
Speaking of Batroc, what happened to him? He jumped out the plane. We haven't seen him again.
We did. There was something from George St. Pierre recently that there's a chance that he's coming back in one of the next couple episodes. So I really hope that's right.
Yeah, I mean, I 100% expected to see him again.
Me too.
Yeah. Huh.
I do love that he shows up to get just like beaten by whoever is like the Captain America type archetype.
So it's just George St. Pierre getting his ass kicked by Captain America.
Right? Like, can I win one? Come on.
Right?
Speaking of disappointing theories, I've heard theories that those scenes that we see in the trailer of him training with the shield and throwing it around, that could be like the final scene of the episode, or of the series, I should say. And that would be really disappointing to me. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
But so far, they've done well with like keeping the secrets and keeping most of the story under wraps. So I think there's a lot of misdirect going on. I hope we get a big. I mean, also another thing to think about too is this is a $150 million show, and I saw the special effects in the first one, and there's a lot of obviously foreign locations, so that's expensive. But I haven't quite seen over $100 million yet, so we should probably expect a big final episode. If you look at like WandaVision, that final episode was the blowout. They really went all out with special effects and action, obviously, and hopefully we're gonna get something similar here. So with that being said, this is the penultimate episode, and those are usually episodes that are more dramatic, maybe even more talky to get everything and put all the chess pieces in place. So we'll see.
The runtime is 1 hour long, so it's the longest one so far, I think.
Yes, like 61 minutes, right?
It's beefy.
That's a short film.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
What's so interesting too about Falcon Winter Soldier compared to WandaVision is WandaVision, a big part of the hype was the mystery, but to me it kind of feels like Falcon and Winter Soldier has more mysteries.
Oh, I agree, totally.
You know, and it's like that hasn't really been the hype of the show, but it's sort of been this sneaky aspect of it where you're like, wait, who's Power Broker? Wait, what's going on with this? Like, what are the Flag Smashers up to?
The mysteries in Falcon and the Winter Soldier are paying off. They pay off, and hopefully they continue to pay off.
And also, I got to give this show credit. Nothing has been spoiled. I mean, we heard about the Pietro thing like a few weeks before WandaVision came out, and that was like one of the big moments of that show. But we haven't heard anything about what's happening in this show.
Right. Yeah.
And so far, I haven't had as many disappointing moments. So hopefully that keeps happening in that same fashion.
For sure.
No doubt. Okay, well, you guys ready to get into it?
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait.
Let's do it.
Let's do this.
Let's line it up. Everybody watching, let's all line up. We're going to do a countdown when it's time to start it. Go to episode 5, entitled Truth.
All right, you guys ready to go?
Give me a countdown, Brax.
All right, almost there. Hold on one sec.
All right. An hour and 2 seconds.
All right. I don't know. That's a boring, cute, like header image. They're just sitting at the dock.
They need to work on their thumbnail game, right?
Right. You know exactly. You know what I mean. That's not it's not putting a lot of hope. Well, let's see what happens. All right. So I'm ready. Let's get this ready. Ready?
By its cover. Okay.
Exactly. Hopefully, keeping expectations low.
For sure.
All right, guys. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Falcon and Winter Soldier time.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Foreshadowing.
Wow. They're getting to a lot this episode.
Yes, please show him take it.
Please. We assume he did, but...
Oh, you want to see the actual moment?
I want to see the actual, the moment.
It's so tragic that Hoskins actually believed that Walker would be still a good guy, like be a good guy with the serum.
Right.
Do we know if they inject it or do they ingest the serum?
Good question. Hope we find out. Oh, here we go. Yep. Oh, he cleaned off that blood awfully fast, it looks like.
He knows he's in trouble.
Oh, no, it's still
Nope,
there.
still
Never mind.
there.
Couldn't tell.
He just booked it.
Of course he did.
To the same warehouse that they're shooting in those other scenes.
Wow. Yeah, right, little man.
That's such a weird line because we have not seen that at all.
Make the right decisions.
Yeah.
In anything? Yeah. Watching that last episode earlier, I just realized how brutal that death was. I mean,
It's long.
yeah.
I like the music here.
Me too. Music in the show's been solid.
It's like solemn and
Mhm.
Uh-oh.
Bring in the pathos.
They don't look so good.
Yeah.
they're gonna take the shield away from him.
Eh.
He's still trying to reason with him. Wow.
Sam, it's what he does.
Yeah. You can always see the good in somebody, no matter what. Here we go.
The physicality that he brings to this character is so interesting to me.
John Walker.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's all that jaw action.
Yeah, and
Jaw.
like the kind of twitchiness he has when he moves his neck and everything.
Yeah. The head tilt.
Mm-hmm. Bucky's been wanting to do this since like the second episode, man.
Second one.
There we go.
Uh-oh.
Whoa. Nice.
I love how Sam uses his wings during fights.
They're just going for the shield. Like,
Yo, is he single-handedly beating two of them at the same time?
nice.
Ooh.
Wow.
He got it.
Yep.
There we go.
Why would you throw it if you're
Yep,
trying to
not the
keep
time.
it?
Seriously, I wouldn't be throwing that thing for a second. Oh my god, he just sounds like a crybaby now. Whoa. Oh shit.
Yo.
Really? You going for the kill shot right
Jesus.
there?
I don't think he hears them anymore. Because he's responding in ways that don't make sense.
Oh, come on. Oh man.
Get up, Bucky.
Come on, Bucky. Wow.
Whoa.
Oh.
Whoa. Jesus.
What the?
Oh my god. And Bucky's still not even punching it with his vibranium arm.
He got it
It looked broken.
malfunctioning. Yeah.
Yeah, short circuiting.
There we go. Come on.
I knew they were gonna
Whoa!
fake it. You saw that coming.
Oh God.
It just broke his arm.
Only way to stop him. That's mine.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh!
Oh,
Ooh.
damn.
Bucky's gonna need some repairs.
They all are.
Yeah.
Huh.
Wow.
What do they do
Inter-
now? Do they like
It's
arrest
interesting.
him?
It's interesting that Bucky picked it up.
Yeah.
That's a tight shot.
Oh my God. He's just. Wow.
What's so interesting is through the series we've learned that the actual history of Captain America is stained with blood, and now the shield is too.
Very symbolic.
Mm-hmm.
Bucky kind of threw it down, like, you know what? Take it, Sam.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh my God. Talk about an emotional episode.
I didn't expect them to get it back this quickly.
Me neither. The Torres.
What's going on, Bucky?
Yeah.
Huh. You think? Of course they are. Wow. And we haven't seen him in like a month.
That's a good look, Sam.
You said keep him?
That's
Keep 'em.
interesting.
Symbolic.
He's the next Falcon in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
He is.
But his wings aren't mechanical.
Well, Red Wing's also a real bird, so.
Yeah.
I was
Whoa.
kind of hoping he was going to keep the wings and the shield.
Me too.
Here we go.
See?
Wow.
Wow.
They weren't
I thought this was going
feeling
to be a
that.
flashback scene.
I thought that dude was gonna be a bad guy.
Oh no.
Dang.
Jeez.
No benefits.
Nothing.
Damn, that's harsh.
I mean,
He did
he
kill someone.
he might have decapitated somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're freaking not.
I am Captain America.
What? So you can do this again?
Yeah. So you can give it to anybody but Sam.
Neither do
Neither do
you.
you.
Who's that?
Who the hell is this?
Very ominous walk up.
Yeah.
Cameo.
Yep.
Here it is.
Holy
Julia
crap.
Louise Dreyfus.
Whoa.
Look it up on Wikipedia.
Okay.
That was the most confusing introduction I've ever heard.
Right.
What
Who?
the hell? Is she the power broker?
Oh, maybe.
Thunderbolts.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was thinking.
Right.
I guarantee she's connected to the Thunderbolts.
Certain people. What the f- What the f-
It does. Oh, well, Tony's dad made it, but I think, wasn't he under government contract when he did? I guess maybe it's Stark property.
All right, show us the name. Well, she already said her name.
Then why would...
What in the hell is going on?
I feel like I feel like you're right, Brax. It's setting up Thunderbolts.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I hope so.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. That cameo came quick.
It's pretty good acting by her in that scene too.
Yeah, that was solid. There's that monument, finally.
Oh, Zemo time.
Sokovia. Yep, here we go. Sokovia. Here's the scene. Oh. Okay. Oh.
I don't know that this is the way to handle this, dude.
Civil War music.
Oh, good call.
Yeah.
He's not gonna shoot him in the face. Come on now.
Not a chance.
Wow.
What the?
Did he know there was no bullets?
Yeah, look at him smile.
Oh, yeah. He has to. Yeah, look. Oh, this is where the scene. Yep. There we go. Wow.
Yes!
Oh! Here they come.
Do you think Zemo will be in Black Panther too?
He's gonna be chilling in Wakanda.
Good place for him.
Oh, they're taking him to the rafts.
Yeah. I feel like we're gonna see him again though.
Oh yeah.
I'd be kind of shocked if we didn't.
I mean, if we're talking about Thunderbolts, he's the leader, right?
Make yourself scarce in Wakanda.
That's
So
interesting.
they're not
This
like
didn't make up for it.
they're not completely abandoning him, but
Yeah, you're totally in position to do that.
Baltimore, here we go. Yeah.
We're getting everything we wanted.
Oh my God.
Hey, feels good to have payoffs.
It's the first time we've heard him really talk. Eli. Nice shot. Never mind.
That was a hairball.
Terrible.
His form looked good. That's all I know.
Forgot to say Kobe. Yeah.
Man, don't even go there. I can't even think about that.
Oh, he's giving him the shield.
Wow, okay.
He's gonna be like, hell no, you take the shield, man.
I don't think he wants it.
Oh yeah, it is.
All right. Mm.
Exactly what Steve did.
Except he went to jail for it.
Exactly.
And then Steve became a hero for it.
Mm-hmm. Thrown in jail. Jeez.
The hell?
Wow.
Oh, they finally said it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jeez.
Hmm.
iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I didn't get the flashback, but that was still powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh wow. Well, I want to learn more about them. Mr. Falcon. So they all love their family.
Power of community.
Bucky.
Bucky. Yeah.
Don't break it, man. Wow.
You're welcome.
Is he ever not obnoxious?
Right? Whoa. New wings? Wakandan wings.
Oh, open the
Vibrate.
box.
Oh, Bucky can fix that.
Wait, is that his Captain America suit in that box?
I feel like
Oh, he has nowhere to go.
Wow.
No, no.
Is he back to being player Bucky?
Oh, that was pretty smooth right there.
Oh,
Nice.
see, I'm just looking at him like, what are you doing?
I haven't seen this in about 80 years.
This is interesting though. The first time we actually see them being friends though, for real.
Yeah.
Right? Oh man, they're gonna get it working? Wait, that looked like the same exact clip from episode 1.
I mean, this montage is showing the benefit of the super soldier serum.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
All right, what is this?
Ooh.
Vibranium wings.
We're not gonna see it till next. We're not gonna see it till next episode, man. What's in the box? What's in the box?
Heineken sponsored. Sponsored by Heineken.
Okay. Don't flirt with my sister. Oh man.
Oh my God.
Mm.
Do you think he actually believes it?
No.
I don't know.
No, he doesn't believe it. He's flawed.
Yeah. He shaved. He just looks soulless.
He still feels what he did is right.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm curious if
Absolutely.
he actually thinks the guy was the one who killed him. He just seems like he's lost it.
Yeah, exactly. He was ready to go off on anybody.
Shouldn't his arm be healed?
Right?
Yeah, right.
How many days has it been?
Ooh. Uh-oh.
Oh, God. Here we go. He's going to... Oh, there we go. What?
Oh, she's talking to Batroc.
Yeah.
I have a job for you.
What the f...
Wow. Maybe she is
What
full-on
the-
power broker.
What the hell is she doing?
Just look at the phone.
He already saw it, so...
He smiled.
He did. I think he knows it's
Hey.
Sam.
Seems like it's the second time he's found peace, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Seems more calm there than any other time.
He said the only other time was in Wakanda.
Yep. The slow-mo walk.
Does Zack Snyder direct this episode?
Oh, God. Oh, God. Don't even go there.
I like the waves in slow motion, though. Those look cool.
That does look really cool.
So was the Isaiah Bradley scene the tear jerker scene?
Maybe.
And there's still probably 10, 15 minutes left in the episode, so
There's like 20.
yeah.
Not, including
Including
credits.
credits, yeah. This is cool. They're bonding for the first time.
Because Bucky isn't pissed off the entire time like he has been.
Well, there's that.
Samuel.
Wow. Total little sister.
Had a barrel roll or whatever.
Oh, God. She's a very mean person.
Yeah, this literally feels like the first time they're actually friends and partners. Here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Yes.
Now they're
Wow.
gonna kill all the trees.
Thank
right.
you. Ooh.
Apparently,
Wow.
it's easier than we thought.
Is he left-handed?
Figures they talked about it. Wow. It hurt. Wow.
He's on the moon. Yeah, he is left-handed.
It's like they're playing like baseball catch.
Yeah.
right. Wow. Wow. This is so cool.
Therapist Sam.
Wow.
I think that's my favorite scene between them.
I agree completely.
Good
Easy.
talk.
This might be one of my favorite scenes of the whole series.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Wow,
Yeah, they're
Bucky,
friends.
if you'd grown up as like 3 episodes ago.
Yeah. Wow. All right, what the hell is going to happen in this last episode?
I was about to say, are you gonna sell it after everyone helped you refurbish it?
All right.
Wow. Wow. Right. There's that smirk. Oh. Oh.
You were good at this 10 minutes ago. What happened?
Right?
I know, right?
What was that about?
He's doing the work.
Oh, damn. Whoa.
Good thing the nephews aren't outside.
Right?
Seriously, he was really good at this when Bucky was there. What happened?
Seriously, like
Maybe he's throwing it harder.
Maybe,
know.
yeah.
maybe he was just taking it easy and it was.
I am liking this though. We're seeing that this takes actual skill.
I love that. Finally.
The music, I love the music.
Yes.
The only explanation.
Oh,
Oh,
look at the shirt.
Nice.
Look
Damn.
at the shirt. The shirt's like the new costume, huh?
Mm.
Nice.
As Rocky.
Yeah, exactly.
Rocky
Yeah.
Getting
Nice.
strong now.
This is totally his Rocky moment.
Getting faster.
Damn.
Like a full-on acrobat.
Wow.
He's like getting the timing down.
Mm-hmm.
Perfectly.
Oh, less happy.
And that moment's over. Oh.
Wow, you're going after Sam? Really?
Wow. Et voila.
So
Criminals.
Sharon hooked that all up though.
Right, they asked
Yep.
her for help.
Look at that cauliflower ear.
Oh, jeez.
It's weird that she doesn't consider them criminals, considering they've killed people.
Yeah.
Is this whole park just
Flag smasher people.
smashers?
Wait, did she like give them serum too, or there wasn't that many?
Yeah, it wasn't that
Mhm.
much.
No, there couldn't be.
Wait, are they in New York?
This is New York City. Holy crap.
Bad shot.
Yep.
Wow. Oh boy.
Kablooey.
New York City.
The optics.
jeez.
Wow, this guy's a douche.
Yeah, right.
One world, one people.
Jeez.
Unless you're a senator.
Yep.
Are we going to see what's in the box?
I would. Here we go.
We're not going to see it.
Oh, come on.
Come on.
This is straight Pulp Fiction. Now he has Falcon colors on.
Wow. That's where they're going to end it? Oh.
What an end.
Looks like there may be some kind of post-credit scene. I can't tell, though.
Yeah, let's just hang out.
Yeah. Wow, that was some episode.
Do you think we're going to get U.S. Agent in the next one?
Man, I hope so.
Looks
Who's
like
the
they're
main
setting that up.
villain? Who is the big villain of this series?
The government.
Oh, there's that.
Yeah, it's the government or Sharon Carter.
That guy was way
That's
too
right,
comfortable
right.
with just kicking everyone out of their homes. Yeah, I don't get Sharon Carter's angle, because if she's power broker, why is she helping them?
Right?
Wow.
Man, what an episode.
Is there a post-credit scene?
I can't
Looks-
tell if it's a post-credit scene or if it's just like a different part of the credits. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. So we'll have to find out.
I like Bucky more in this episode than I have.
Yeah, there's no like post credit scene, so maybe something mid.
If it is, I feel
Julia
like
Louis-Dreyfus. I can't believe that.
that was cool.
That was crazy.
I think she would just confuse Thor.
Yeah, probably.
Wow, it is.
All right.
Here we go. Oh God.
Oh, U.S. Agent's coming.
Oh, ho, 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 ho. What is he doing?
She
Making a
making?
shield. Out of his metals.
Wow.
That's
That's
like a slow,
interesting.
it's like a small shield. Oh,
Wow.
it's not vibranium, that's for sure.
Wow. He's
Can't-
gone full
Interesting.
crazy.
Just
All
full
right, guys.
maniac.
So everybody watching, we're going to take a quick 15-second intermission really quick, and then we're going to come back for the recap and breakdown. All right. Welcome. This is the Illuminerdi. This is our recap and breakdown for episode number 5, Truth of Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm Baxter Timberlake. With me, I got Caitlin.
Hey, everybody.
Along with Caitlin, we got Richard.
What's up, everybody?
And along with Richard, we got TC rounding out the bunch.
What's going on, guys? Hyped to review this episode.
Wow.
Woo! what an episode this was. So we just finished screening the episode of Truth, and we got a lot of truth. We got a lot of drama. We got a lot of plot movement, and we got a lot of chess pieces movement. TC, why don't you start it off? What did you think of that episode? Your initial reactions?
I thought it was one of the slower episodes. A lot of dialogue, a lot of talking. But I did like how we got to see Isaiah's story. I thought that was very impactful, and the whole scene was very emotional. I also like I like that we got some things paid off. So we know that Sharon Carter is like sketchy. She's sus. She's very sus, and she's doing something. Um, and just the overall episode was really cool. I wouldn't say this is like one of my top episodes, but definitely I liked. This is like the build up to like what we're gonna get in the last episode. I think the last episode is just gonna be chaos. It's gonna be just hectic, 24/7, a lot more fast pace and everything like that. But this was a pretty good episode.
Yeah, absolutely. Before the episode, we kind of talked about our predictions, and it seems like a lot of them were hit on the mark, and we're going to get into a lot of those. But yeah, this ultimately put all the pieces in place for a big finale next week. What did you think of the episode, Kayla?
I was gonna say it really felt like they were setting up the board for like the final showdown, whatever that ends up being. Like Zemo's kind of off the board at this point, but Sam and Bucky really feel like they're finally in sync because they haven't truly been throughout. Even the last episode where they were fighting together and Bucky was there to support Sam, they still kind of felt like they were out of sync. So we finally get them really working together, and the Flag Smashers are just all in now. They are not holding back anymore, and yeah, just wow, just like TC said, it felt a little slower, but I also feel like it needed to be because you needed a lot of that exposition and dialogue, and you needed to kind of see where everyone is at before we get to the big finale.
Absolutely. Richard, what did you think of the episode? What are your initial reactions?
I mean, like Caitlin and TC said, I thought it was slow, but I actually really there was some good stuff in that episode. And I was thinking of some of the stuff that we were talking about before it started, all the questions that we wanted answered. There were a lot of questions answered and a lot of stuff that we predicted that actually made it into this episode. We got Isaiah Bradley. We got more Sam and Bucky connections. They took the shield. Sam and Bucky had the shield for most of the episode. We saw the scene at the end with obviously Sam training with it, which was great. I mean, for a slow episode, we got a ton of stuff.
Absolutely.
Right. I was going to say the government, we found out how the government was going to react to U.S. agents kind of rampage, and they were they were not down. They were not happy at all, and they stripped him, and they were going to put him in jail. And the only reason they didn't put him in jail is because of his record, and yeah. So we know
that shocked me how much they were not for that.
I was surprised. Pleasantly,
Yeah.
but surprised.
Well,
me too.
Or in what sense, Caitlin?
I kind of expected it to be more of like, okay, how can we spin this in our favor? He's saying that this is the guy that killed Lamar. They have no proof that that's not true, so maybe it was. So I expected them to kind of spin it as he killed a terrorist. Okay, let's use that. But instead, they were just like, nope. You did that on camera. You did it in front of a bunch of witnesses. That was brutal. We can't have that. That's bad symbolism. I think it's more connected to the public perception of it and how it looks symbolically to have Captain America possibly decapitate a guy than even them going, you did the wrong thing. It was so much more about, you made us look bad.
Yeah.
Right.
Super PC.
You made America look bad.
With the GRC, initially for the first 4 episodes, we weren't quite sure where they stood. Are they good? Are they bad? Are they neutral? Where do we think the GRC stands right now?
Not neutral.
Yeah, seriously.
To me, they seem selfish. Because I guess I can kind of see the point of we have enough resources, but they never actually say that. They don't say we have enough resources. They just say, well, they can't stay here. He's ready to just kick everyone out. I don't know, because he wants to, is kind of the vibe of how he explained it. He never really went into the details of, we don't have enough resources, we can't fund this, we can't support everyone, there aren't enough jobs. He just was like, we can round them up and kick them out right now. We don't need to do a vote.
Yeah, I mean, but if you think about real world events over the past few years, it's actually not that far from how real governments actually work in some ways too. So it's actually a interesting exploration right there. Well, let's do it like this. Let's just go from the top to the bottom and let's go through this episode and let's break down our favorite moments. So this episode starts off with the brutal fight, three-way fight between, or I should say two-way fight with three people, with Bucky and Sam, of course, going up against, I want to call him U.S. Agent because that's what he is now.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of this fight? What are some of your highlights of it?
U.S. Agent getting his arm broken. I mean, just absolutely brutal.
Yo, U.S. Agent was not going to let go of that shield unless they broke his arm. That's kind of a cool thing.
That's literally what they had to do to get the shield away from him.
Exactly. And that just kind of shows how nuts he is and how, like, he kept saying, I'm Captain America. Like, he's going to be a psychotic beast going forward.
Nobody who's really Captain America needs to tell themselves.
It's like
so
he's trying to
convince
times. Himself. Yeah.
Exactly.
Like
that he's Captain America.
And even in the end, post credits, and you see him kind of like Tony Starking, building the.
How much you want to bet to him? How much you want to bet that he's whispering to himself, "I'm Captain America. I'm Captain America."
Well, he puts his Medal of Honor on there. Like, he needs you to see Medal of Honor, Captain America.
He needs validation.
What is that shield made out of?
Like just regular scrap metal, honestly.
Right? Kind of.
That's gonna be fun.
I'm sure it's a little more better than that, but not much.
All I know is it better not have the same physics and dynamics as the real shield.
It better not.
Vibranium. Yeah,
I think if he gets an actual shield, it's going to be from the Countess, whoever she is.
Right.
Oh, right. Absolutely.
And
much less a new uniform.
Maybe she gave him some vibranium to work with. I don't know.
Maybe. I think what I found so kind of interesting about that fight is it really felt like he's had a psychotic break. Like he was just not all there. They're saying things and he's not responding in the way, not even just the way you wouldn't expect. He's not responding in a way that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. It's interesting. If you think about his first appearance in the locker room, and he was really in shock and couldn't quite internalize that he was becoming the next Captain America. He was still coming to grips with it. And where he is right now, with, like TC said, with him repeating to himself that I am Captain America all over, he really has taken a change, and he made a sharp left or right after the Super Soldier Serum in particular.
I was gonna say, do we think that that's the Super Soldier Serum side effects at all, or do we think it's just him being in shock? Being in shock after his friend just died.
Well, remember what they said about the serum, many different times. It brings out what's in you, the truth in you comes out,
Good becomes great, bad becomes worse.
Right. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he was already messed up from what had happened when he was in the military. They talked about, they didn't go into details, obviously, but they kind of touched on it. Yeah, they touched on it briefly in the last episode. So I think he was already in a not great headspace. And then he had all this pressure put on him, and he very clearly wasn't ready for the public aspect of it. And that was even before we had him go insane. So I just think I think the Super Soldier Serum kind of broke his brain.
He's been messed up this entire time. Like the entire time that we've seen him on screen, he's been messed up because of Afghanistan. And then it just kept progressively getting worse.
Yeah.
All right, so directly after the fight, we get reintroduced to Torres. We haven't seen him in a little while, it feels like. And he actually ends up getting a new set of Falcon wings. What do we think about this?
I think it is exciting. Like was mentioned in the live stream and during the watch along, in the comics, he is the next Falcon. Slightly different backstory, but he's the next Falcon. So I feel like they're teasing that as kind of what could be in the future for him. So I think it's exciting. He's just funny too. I mean, Sam essentially hung up on him while he's still giving him information.
I hope he sticks around.
Yeah, I mean, I think he will. I mean, who knows where he'll show up next? But what I did find was interesting is he kind of seems like the new sidekick for Sam. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering where that leaves Bucky.
Yeah, if Bucky didn't die.
Right. Yeah, Bucky didn't die.
You sound all sad about it. Bucky didn't die.
Also, Yeah, Sam, saying keep the wings. It's kind of symbolic for Sam and his next step and what he's gonna do in terms of getting that new suit and moving forward.
1,000%. Steve gave him the shield. He gave the wings on the circle of life. Oh, right
no,
on.
we don't rights.
right.
Copyright.
Couldn't help myself.
So, there was someone said an interesting thing during the episode around this point where John Walker is continuing to denigrate his honor and denigrate the shield and denigrate his place, and really was also shocking, or not even shocking, but like kind of a stamp of where the character is going is he has no accountability. When he's appearing before the Senate, like he really has no accountability. And actually, Caitlin, you brought it up many times. Does he even know they didn't kill the right person? But Bucky straight up told him, like, "Yo, you killed the wrong person."
I don't know if he heard him though.
No, true enough. But watch some of your stick.
I mean, just like I said earlier, he's so out of it when they fight. Like he's saying, we could have been a team. I'm Captain America. The shield's mine. And they're not saying anything that has anything to do with that. They're like, you just killed someone. It's not the guy that killed Lamar. Like, we need the shield back because you're murdering people. Like, they're not saying anything where his answers have any sort of context.
He is so completely detached from reality. Like, it was kind of scary, honestly.
Yeah.
He's in shock at that moment.
Yeah.
Even in the Senate hearing, he's not there. He's not making sense. Like, some of the things he said I thought were really, like, poignant and they really hit, where he's like, you made me. That to me was really interesting because I don't think he's wrong. I don't think they really gave him rules. They're like, you're going to go do what you're going to do. You're Captain America now. It was just this sense of, like we've said, entitlement, ego, power, where it didn't seem like he really had any oversight until he messed up. And at that point, he doesn't care anymore. He's Captain America. He can do whatever he wants.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't seem like he actually did have a lot of oversight because he was just kind of going from place to place before that. You know what I mean? So
they chose him to be there. So like they have. It's funny how they just like don't take any blame at all themselves when they knew of his backstory, knew of his his history of having a short trigger and just being a super hyper aggressive. They created this problem themselves.
But if you think about it, that sticks with the same theme. What happens with Isaiah Bradley? It's collateral damage almost. Like, oh, that went wrong.
Yep.
Right. And his speech in the hearing or whatever, he was saying like Caitlin was saying, like you made me this way. They trained him in war to kill other people, and in his mind, he's still, it doesn't matter. Like he doesn't care about crossing the line.
For sure.
No doubt. So shortly after that, we got the reveal of the big cameo. A lot of people honestly, so a lot of people honestly knew who the actress was going to be who appeared, including some people here. Didn't know how she would fit in. But what did you guys think of Julia Louis-Dreyfus showing up on a Marvel show?
I
didn't see it coming.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming at all. I think she sets up some interesting possibilities that could be really exciting.
Yeah. One thing we found out about her character is it's Contessa de la Fontaine, I think is her name in the comics. She's revealed as a Skrull, which another setup for Secret Invasion. I think it's funny, after WandaVision and with this show, Secret Invasion might be like the biggest Disney Plus show coming in the next few years.
It better be. It should be. It's Secret Invasion.
Yeah, I mean, fair point.
A show
so with that, I'm sorry, continue.
Oh no, I was gonna say it's a series that should have been, not should have been, but could have been like a 3-arc long movie. Yeah,
could have.
Do you think this sets up Walker as possibly showing up in that then?
Oh, Secret Invasion?
Yeah. Because if she's a Skrull, I assume it's on the side that's not with Nick Fury. So could he be
part of her
I
team?
feel like all these different streams are going to run into it, kind of like Avengers style, but not necessarily all the plot lines have to necessarily overlap.
Right.
I definitely don't feel like the end of John Walker, unless he dies, will be after this series. But they're putting all the pieces in place. I mean, if you look at Thunderbolts, they have Zemo's still around, he's still around. I mean, it's all percolating, and with Secret Invasion seeming to be summing up to it, it seems like it's like the Avengers for Disney Plus. They're really seeding, like it seems like to really get the most out of Secret Invasion, you're gonna really have to watch all the different Disney shows to really get the full context of what's going on.
Which you can watch every week with us here at the Illuminerdi.
There you go. Like, subscribe, comment. We'll get to your questions later.
Yeah. As far as the cameo that people were hyping up, I think it was a letdown in my opinion. Just because of our we were shooting at old man Steve, Shuri, and then it's just this new character.
Mephisto 2.0.
Not quite.
Okay, at least we got something in this one. We didn't get anything with the Mephisto tease.
Well, with that being said, though, like all the clues pointed to Mephisto, but here, like they literally said, like there's a big cameo you're not gonna believe, and that came from the head show, the showrunner. So,
I mean, it was cool. I mean, I didn't hate it, I didn't love it, but
it definitely, to me, it was a very cool character and it was a very cool introduction. If they hadn't hyped it up, I think I would have enjoyed it more.
Right.
So.
I'm a little confused about his comment of wanting to see her interact with Thor or team up with Thor, because I'm like, I think she just confused him. Like, I don't understand that.
It sounds like he was really thinking about Seinfeld, like having Thor on Seinfeld. That would be tight.
Actually, the funny thing is she would have been great in WandaVision.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She seemed like an Agatha type character, like the way she spoke. Like she's very Weasley. Like she plays it well.
Yeah, for sure.
And if she's like has something major to do with the Thunderbolts, I think, she'd be perfect in that kind of role.
Yeah, definitely.
I think Caitlin said it best. Like I think maybe she will give him some supplies to help him out this next episode for his final mission. So that should be interesting.
Yeah. Maybe the medal he got is from her. That could be a possibility.
Maybe. What could also be interesting with her is just she didn't actually have a conversation with them. She talked the whole time.
Right.
She did. There was no back and forth at all.
Right.
Yep.
She's the Amanda Waller of Thunderbolts.
Well, true. I mean, really, it also seems like she could be I wouldn't say a placeholder, but like we theorized about General Ross showing up on the show, and it seems like she would be the person that's like right the middleman between the two, right?
I can see that.
Yeah. All right, we got to talk about Zemo. That was a powerful scene. We got the statue. As soon as we saw the statue, we knew from the trailers, this is it. Richard, tell me what you thought about the Zemo scene. What stuck out to you?
Well, before I get to the Zemo thing, I was just thinking back to when the first Disney Plus trailer released for Marvel, both the Falcon Winter Soldier and WandaVision used shots from the second to last episode, mostly in that trailer, which I just thought was really interesting that they used footage from so far in both series. So I'm curious to see if the Loki shot ends up in the second to last one of that too. But in terms of Zemo, I mean, that was a really good scene. I mean, Bucky intimidated the hell out of him, I thought. I mean, Zemo was just standing there like, props to Bucky, respect. I mean, that and the Wakanda stuff, I mean, the Dora Milaje taking him off was just awesome. That was a great scene.
Yeah, what did you think about the fake out with Bucky pretending to shoot him, basically? What did you think of that, TC?
I mean, I thought it was really good. It kind of just Bucky proving to Zemo that he's not the same soldier. He's not he's not programmed, and
he's not the Winter Soldier anymore.
He's not the Winter Soldier anymore, and it was just kind of he kind of wanted to do a fake out and trick Zemo. I don't know why he did it, just messing with him. But I thought it was.
I love that.
A cool scene.
I mean, I did appreciate it. Kind of took two things and tied them both in the same kind of knot, where he finished his deal with Zemo, and also we saw what happened with Wakanda too. So like we got two big plot threads tied up there.
And Zemo's not dead. We're gonna see more of him, which is cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My first question is: are we gonna see a breakout scene from Zemo from Wakanda at some point? How fun would that be? No Jeff could hold him, right?
Yeah.
Or the raft, right?
Yeah,
That'd be an interesting post-credit scene. That'd be an interesting post-credit scene.
Maybe Ross or Julia Louis-Dreyfus breaking him out or something.
Oh yeah,
with
maybe he
Falcon
doesn't get
and
broken out.
right.
Uh,
That's just what came to my head right now.
it's interesting. I was a little surprised that they didn't take him home because I mean, they've already allowed other people to incarcerate him and they didn't do the job. So maybe they didn't want an international incident or something.
They also might not want to actually risk him being in Wakanda.
Sure enough.
All their resources. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. It's a great point.
All
right.
I really loved during the scene too when Zemo said, "I've decided I'm not going to kill you," because that to me was a surprising character development in him because he's so against super soldiers, and Bucky is a super soldier.
Did you believe him when he said that?
Honestly, yeah, I think he likes Bucky.
He's probably warmed up to him a tiny bit, but
yeah. So I thought that was really interesting. I love Zemo. I'm so excited that they've set it up where we're probably gonna get him back, and I thought the scene was very interesting and powerful. And the fact that he crossed off his name in Bucky's book was really interesting to me too, because it was that moment of he feels like they've made amends, I guess, which not sure how that happened, but okay.
At the same time, though, he was really looking out for Bucky's mission, so I think you're 100% right. Like, yeah.
Right, and Zemo just has this like swagger to him. Like he knows he's captured, and he's like, okay, ladies, let's go. Like inside his mind, he's already planning his escape. Like,
right.
Oh, he plotted it as soon as Bucky was pointing the gun at him.
Yeah. Like he's got a certain swagger to him, and yeah, I agree. I'm hyped to see him later down the line.
Bring on more Zemo.
I can't lie. Like Zemo, Loki, Killmonger, like some of the best villains in the MCU universe. Like, I'm excited for that future.
Yeah,
excited for that future. Well, let's move the conversation over to the heroes. We had a big request, we all wanted to see the same thing. We wanted some closure or some the Isaiah Bradley issue to be addressed. And man, we got a scene that directly addressed a lot of the things we were talking about. It actually they touched on some of the things that I was hoping for when the series first started before we watched the first episode. So it was a really cool scene. Richard, what did you think of the Isaiah Bradley and Sam Wilson scene?
I mean, crazy powerful. I mean, it was pretty much everything I think we were hoping for, because we had talked about getting the return of Isaiah Bradley ever since he showed up in episode 2. And they touched on exactly what they thought they were going to talk about. Like, is the world ready for a Black Captain America? You know, the history of the Shield, the history of the super soldiers. I mean, it was some really powerful stuff. And I feel like, you know, and the funny thing is, I feel like Sam didn't even walk away from that like completely agreeing with Isaiah. I mean, he obviously got where he was coming from, but Sam still felt like it was his responsibility to be Captain America and pick up the shield, because that's what Steve wanted him to do, and Steve was closer to him than anybody.
Oh, absolutely.
I'd argue it didn't have anything to do with Steve. I think that part of what was so powerful about it was he agreed with a lot of what Isaiah said, and he understood with a lot of what he said, but it felt like this was kind of that moment of him taking his own agency into account. I think what was so powerful about it is it wasn't about Steve, it wasn't about Bucky, it wasn't about Isaiah, it wasn't about the world. It's about him and what he thinks is right. So I think
Sam Wilson.
Yeah, I think that's why his conversation with Isaiah was so powerful. I think that's why his conversation with Bucky was so powerful, because it was him finally kind of accepting and figuring out why he wants to be Captain America.
Yeah, that's true. You know, one of the things that Isaiah said to him was essentially that that you know, history essentially repeats itself and things aren't that different. And another important thing that he said was that his history was erased, which is another like historical issue for Black Americans, dating back to slavery, when you know Africans were taken here and their history and their family and their lineage was literally would get you killed if you tried to remember. So I thought the boat scene was really interesting, because I think that was a great moment of realization where he was like, "Yo, this is our legacy. This is our family handed this down to us, and it's for us to take it into the next generation and take it into the future." So I think that like all of that really ties in. So I am interested in seeing how this new Captain America really will take the legacy of of Steve, and modernize it for the future.
I think I really love the scene a lot too. I thought, you know, the way he was telling the story was very cool. I do kind of wish we did have some, not montage, maybe montage, but like flashbacks to them being tested on and stuff like that while he's telling the story. But I mean, the actor just did a phenomenal job. You didn't really need that. I don't know if it would have hurt or hindered the scene at all. But I love that his final kind of like jab, wasn't a jab, but he challenged Falcon at the end in terms of like like what he should do next, because he tells them at the end, you know, no self-respecting, I think, black man would want to be Captain America, and this is a very important question that Falcon had to take and, you know, really, you know, just debate himself and really decide, like, is he going to like listen to what Isaiah says, or is he going to kind of form his own path?
Right.
Absolutely. So then we see them come back to Louisiana, and you actually do get a lot of montages there. We get training montages.
2 or 3 montages in this episode.
Painting montages. We get high five montages. We get slow mos. We got all kinds of stuff. We got some
Snyder Cut stuff.
You know, it was funny. We before it started, we were kind of going back and forth. This is going to have like a lot of action. If you really think about it, this episode might have had the least amount of action almost out of any episode, despite being the longest episode we've seen so far. But it was no less engaging. What did you guys think of the Louisiana part? Seeing his sister and seeing the kids play with the shield. What do you think was the significance of those issues?
That moment is actually one of the ones that really stands out to me, was his nephews playing with the shield, because to me it was kind of that moment of what the shield means to them, as I'm assuming like 10 and 8 or something like that, is it's a superhero. It's someone that's gonna protect people and save the day. So I know we saw Bucky see it, but it almost, I wish we'd seen Sam see it, because it was kind of that moment of, this is what the shield can mean to the next generation.
Right, and also they don't have a lot of the baggage of what the shield meant in the past. It's just what it means to them in the present now too. Absolutely. Absolutely. What did you think of the Louisiana scenes, Richard?
I mean, that was great. I mean, the montage stuff was fun. I loved, like, you could see, if you're watching with subtitles, you could see some of the banter between Sam and Bucky. Like, the thing I loved about this episode, too, is this is the first episode, and maybe even the first time in the MCU, where Sam and Bucky really felt, I don't want to say, like, completely, like, friends, but that they were legitimately cool with each other. Like, that they could connect on an emotional level. And like Caitlin was saying in that scene, I loved Bucky's reaction to, you know, Sam's nephews playing with the shield. And we were mentioning during the episode that that's like probably the calmest he's felt in this entire series, outside of him being in Wakanda. You know, his banter with Sam, the whole flirting with Sarah thing was absolutely hysterical. You know, takes
all he said was, "Hey, Sarah."
Like,
twice.
Like, it took me back to watching Captain America: The First Avenger, when he was like ladies' man Bucky, and he had like both him and Steve's dates at the World Fair in Brooklyn, and I loved seeing that side of Bucky again.
I think it's connected to the fact that he was finally calm and comfortable. It wasn't him trying to put on a facade, because even like the first date we see in the first episode, he's putting on a facade in that situation.
Yeah.
And also, if you think about Sam and Bucky's relationship throughout all the movies and the show, it's all been about, the relationship's been like mission based. Like, we have to achieve this objective together. And while Bucky came to Louisiana and he kind of helped him out of his heart, because he just loved him as a friend, and he was just helping him out and his family as a friend. And I think that's why we got a different feeling between them there, because there was no like end goal. It wasn't like they were doing this for Steve's honor or to rescue someone from behind enemy lines or to get the shield back. The shield was back. Things were like relatively calm. So they're able just to breathe and actually enjoy each other's company and be the Falcon and the Winter Soldier together, you know?
Right. The therapist would be very happy with their progress after this episode, because
I would hope so.
Yeah.
The angry therapist.
Right. Yeah, they're
You know,
friends.
in a weird way, I kind of miss her a little bit.
kidding.
I'm surprised there wasn't any repercussions from him fighting in Madripoor.
Right?
I know, right? Yeah.
I'm okay with it though.
And then I guess Bucky and Sam training with the shield, actual shield, throwing it around. That was really cool to see. It did confuse me when Sam was good at catching it beforehand. I was like in my head, did they just like put these sequences out of order? But no, that was supposed to come first.
Yeah, the only thing I could think of is when they were just kind of standing side by side. It's kind of like just soft throwing it. So, you just soft throwing it to each other.
They were tossing a frisbee.
Yeah, and then when he was really trying to like, okay, this is me in action. Let me see if two people are behind me.
Do a 360 flip.
Right.
That was so cool.
But your point is still valid nonetheless.
Yeah, and I gotta say, that scene of them throwing the shield around together, that might be one of my favorite scenes of the entire series, and like one of my favorite scenes of them together in the whole MCU. Because like the way they bonded over Steve, over the shield, over both of their histories, I mean, it was really cool.
And they were finally empathetic towards each other.
Exactly. They finally understood each other. They could finally like see what the other one was going through all this time.
Yeah. Like I feel like Sam did better than Bucky's therapist.
Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
Right? Like he finally really kind of talked to, because with the therapist, it always felt like she was talking to him somewhat as like
just talking down to him like children.
Like a soldier.
Or even like a parole officer. Like a parole officer.
Right.
Whereas
yeah.
Sam, it's Sam. His job for a really long time was counseling veterans. So he knows how to do that. And he knows how to do that with like comfort, and he knows how to do that with the tough love of you got to just do the work, man. So I really like that. And I really liked that Bucky really acknowledged that him and Steve didn't truly understand what they were doing when they gave Sam the shield. I thought that was really good.
And I love that they confirmed that they were talking about that in Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was just about to say. Because you get a sense of it. If you watch that scene, Bucky gives Sam the knowing nod, like, it's cool, man. And so like the inference is like there was a conversation between Steve and Bucky, but it's really cool to see that there actually was that, and that just adds more to when we're going to get this spin-off of what happened to Captain America when he was traveling through time and he came back and brought the shield. I want to see all of it.
Yeah.
That needs to be a Disney Plus series. Literally 6 episodes, one for each stone. Do it.
I'd love to see him trying to put the reality one or whichever it was back into Natalie Portman.
That's low key one of my favorite moments from Endgame. Rocket just going
right, like with Steve chasing her around the syringe.
Right.
So we got 30 people in here, and I just want to say thank you for joining us for our Illuminerdi watch along. We do this every week that Marvel debuts a new episode. So thank you. Make sure to throw your comments in this comment section. We will be addressing it soon. Make sure to put the thumbs up high. Share this with your friends because we're going to be here for a while.
Avi Aki, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, pointed out something really important. Hey guys, did you see that Bucky was not sleeping on the floor but on a soft couch? That's a really good point.
Nice. That's solid.
Yeah. There's like a kind of like a notion about, especially with soldiers, being able to kind of sleep anywhere. And then you remember the episode when he first saw that keeps calling him U.S. agent, John Walker got the shield, and he was literally on the floor. So that's really interesting. So it's showing me this episode is really like a step forward for Bucky because we get to see his emotional growth, and he's really at peace.
Yeah,
sure.
it felt like a step forward for every character, whether that be a bad step forward, like with John Walker and Carly Morgenthau, or like a really satisfying good step forward, like with Bucky, Sam, and like Sam's family. Because I really liked, they felt so alone when we first met them, and Sarah's felt so alone the whole time. And then when Sam is like, let's reach out to our friends. Let's reach out to the people that our parents helped and are close with, and to see the community come together to help them. That was something that I really thought was important and appreciated.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Right.
Like this episode, we saw two different like superpowers that Sam kind of has. Like one is his like power of therapy and like empathy. But the other one we did see was the power of community and people coming together to help, right? And we've seen it like in negative ways with the flag smashers, where people are really coming together for seemingly the right purpose, doing the wrong thing. It was really interesting. And also, what you saw, it was a cool dichotomy scene going from the scene with Isaiah Bradley to go into the scene with the elders who knew his parents and were helping him with the boat and who respected his legacy as well. So there's that cool dichotomy going on there.
Right, and part of the tough love conversation between Falcon and Winter Soldier, he pretty much told Bucky, like, you know, you need to go back and not try to just avenge people or, you know, say you're sorry. You need to be of some type of service to them. Just go deeper with it, kind of give them what they need if they need to ask questions or talk about stuff. Like, so Bucky, I think that's where he's going to go next in terms of really, instead of just checking off the names off a list, really going back and continuing that mission, doing the work, and you know, what's it called, evolving in that way.
Yeah, I really like that Sam pointed out it's not about you. Making amends isn't about you. It's not about making you feel better about what you've done. It's about helping others and helping them get closure for what you did. So I thought that was really important because Bucky's been really selfish for this entire series. So the fact that someone really kind of went, you have to stop looking at this for how it helps you and start looking at this as how you can help other people, I thought was really powerful and important. And I'm really hoping that Bucky takes that to heart, because I feel like that's really the only way he's going to find any sort of redemption. Because I said it, I think, at the beginning of the series, Bucky's redemption can't come from anywhere other than himself.
And I love the fact that while Sam was talking to Bucky, Sam has a way of, you know, talking to people, you know, giving them that tough love, but not making them feel like crap about it too. I mean, the way he was talking to Bucky, like, he was giving him some real stuff to think about, like that it's not about you, you know, it's not enough to just, you know, say you're sorry or whatever. But Bucky didn't seem to take that at all. Like, there was no offense to it or anything. And Sam just has this way of getting to people like that. And I love that they're showing that side of him.
You know, it's really, they're showing the similarities between him and Steve Rogers, right? And they're definitely not the same person, but you really see the, like, it's interesting. Like, Steve Rogers, he really stands out when he's around all these different characters with all kinds of different kinds of moralities, because then you can really see the moral center. And Sam was the same way in that sense. So it's really cool to see him kind of step up, and they're really like showing how the legacy is really being passed on to him spiritually as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Donnie has to head out. Thank you so much, Donnie. You've been sticking with us almost every week. So thank you, man. Have a good night.
Get some sleep. See you next week. It's going to be a big week next week.
You know that's right.
There you go. All right. So another thing that they talked about a little bit was the Patch Act. That's the act where essentially they said that they're redrawing the borders, particularly in Europe. And, you know, a lot of people are being displaced. Refugees were being turned back. What did you guys think about that? What that can mean for the show, and maybe what that can mean even for the future?
I think the fact that they are essentially using this to be able to boot people out that became, I don't know if you can really say citizens, but were living in certain countries is really interesting. I think it's going to lead to more situations like the Flag Smashers. I don't think they're really thinking it through. So I think it's going to lead to some issues down the line, but I'm excited to see what those issues are, because I think it could definitely have the consequences of maybe being the origins for some of the new villains that we see.
Absolutely.
Right. It's just going to create villains, basically, if they're going to, you know, do it in that way. And just like, the people that are making these decisions are so detached from everything. They're just, you know, they're just too powerful, and they're just like, do what needs to be done. But there are going to be casualties, and yeah, they're just going to create more villains that way.
Another big mystery in the episode. What's in the box? The whole time I'm thinking about Seven, and the whole time I'm thinking about Pulp Fiction, and then it's opening it, and it's the golden glove comes out. Like, I want to see what's in the box. So obviously it's his new suit, and it's from Wakanda, which is really exciting. So we're gonna get some vibranium Falcon wings.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm leaning towards.
So cool.
Is,
And then,
is the color blue, white, and red though? In terms of
I think so. You know, when he was throwing around the shield, he had on the blue and red shirt.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
And then later he had on the Falcon colors. And you notice throughout the series when people wear their civilian clothes, they still wear color schemes that are similar to what they wear. Bucky wears his blue shirt all the time. Like,
for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, like, it was definitely an allusion to what's going to happen.
Also,
another thing.
I got to acknowledge a great comment in the chat real quick from Sword. John Walker built this shield in a cave with a bunch of scraps. Absolutely perfect. Thank you for that.
This is the first episode where the whole time I'm like, well, Sam needs to get the super soldier serum because, how's he gonna compete? Right. But I really thought about it. This is the first episode where I realized, well, if he has a good Falcon suit and the shield, well, that's pretty tough too. He knows how to use those wings like a master kung fu artist,
He was working out at the end of that.
Yeah, there were small little teases, Brax, like when you've made that comment, like, oh, they're showing how useful the super soldier serum was. Bucky was like fixing the thing with the wrench and then
that was great.
lifting stuff easily. I was like, what are they doing here? Like, are they just trying to show us that, the super soldier can get things done quicker and faster? But yeah, I don't think he's going to. I don't think he's going to get it. Just because he's using his other abilities. He's using the agility. He's a master with his tech and the wings. And now he's practicing with the shield and just learning all the physics with that. So I really think he's not gonna take it. He doesn't need it.
Yeah, I feel like for me, Sam Wilson becoming Captain America, it's proof that the super soldier serum isn't what makes Captain America Captain America.
That's very true.
Because John Walker sort of seemed like he didn't think he could do it unless he had the serum.
Yeah, for sure. Like
1,000%. 1,000%. All right, well let's move over to the questions section of the program here and see what people are talking about and what they have to add to the conversation.
There have been a lot of people talking about Sharon Carter.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
She was really, really sketchy, like you said, CC.
Super sketchy.
Well, look, the timeline. This is what confuses me because she was part of the snap/blip, right?
Are we 100% sure of that? Because I know she was listed, but who would have really been able to keep track of that if she was a Madripoor and not contacting anyone?
We still don't know.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
That's the only reason I don't necessarily trust it is because if she had no contact with anyone, how do you really account for that? Because my guess is Madripoor wasn't like, oh my gosh, we must report the people that disappeared.
Sure.
Yeah. Like we get the ones where like Tony and Nebula came back and said everybody that vanished on Titan and like Steve and the rest of the Avengers in Wakanda, but we don't know about Sharon because we literally haven't seen her since Civil War.
Yeah.
So given that, let's just go with the notion that she either is the power broker or she works directly for the power broker. What is her end game? Like, how does this series end for her?
Maybe she thinks the power broker is going to, like, she has enough power to like pardon her. I don't know.
I can't tell. Like the second she helped the Flag Smashers, everything I thought I knew went out the window.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I have no idea what to think about Sharon Carter anymore.
Yeah, like what did they promise her?
It's interesting. I mean, she went directly against Bucky and Sam, like mess around and get them killed. So who knows?
She's literally playing both sides.
And they still haven't showed us who the power broker is yet, and there's one more episode.
Yeah.
So
it could be Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I wouldn't be surprised there.
I feel like it's got to either be Sharon or her. Like that's the only thing because it's like you said, TC, if they introduce someone in the last episode and it's just some random person, they're like, this is the power broker.
Yeah.
You're like, really?
PvP says, I think the power broker is Louise.
Oh, shoot.
Yes.
It would be great to get a Louise recap of this.
He just comes in like...
we still need to get the Louise recap of the entire Infinity Saga, because that video exists somewhere, according to Kevin Feige.
Oh, that's right. And
it needs to be out in the world.
I would love to see Louise just like come out and be the villain, and you see him recap everything they've been doing. You're like, that's your evil speech?
Oh my god, that would be amazing. I can't wait for more of him in Ant-Man Quantumania.
Oh, one more thing we didn't talk about. We didn't talk directly about the Flag Smashers being in New York now. And one thing I didn't understand is how are all these criminals moving around like over different country lines and all this kind of stuff. But I guess that's another question. But
Yeah.
what was going on in Central Park? I guess it was Central Park with all the different Flag
and it's
Smashers
always
there,
New York. Like
the battles of New York.
Single time.
Well, New York has the UN.
Well, yeah.
And then in Marvel Comics, I mean that's where Stan Lee like based most of the stuff from. So it all comes back there.
Yeah.
If you live in the MCU, don't live in New York is essentially what the answer is.
Yeah, so I guess that's where the showdown's going to be. Do we think that all those people are actually superpowered, or are they just kind of alkalites, just kind of following along with the
I don't think they're superpowered. They already showed that there's like a limited members left that still had the super soldier serum. So I think they're just like cult followers, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm betting only like the core Flag Smashers are superpowered at this point.
And they did say in the last episode when when the Flag Smashers were listening to the report on their attack that they had gained a lot of followers. So my guess is these are some of those radicalized people that were interested in the Flag Smashers after they really went full terrorist. So
for sure,
I think they're dangerous, but I don't think they're super soldiers.
Yeah, I agree.
So where is this all headed? We have to get the Flag Smashers. There's going to be a battle with an angry John Walker. We're going to get the new suit for Sam, who's going to actually be Captain America in the final episode. We get Bucky. How is this final battle? Like, there's a lot of different angles for this fight to happen. I mean, people are going to be throwing punches and blocks all different directions. How do you think this is going to play out for this final episode?
That's the thing. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm curious who John Walker's actually going to be fighting.
Right? Like, the thing about this
everybody.
Is we have no idea, like, who the big bad is, what the final battle is going to be like, and we only have one episode left to find out. I mean, they're doing a great job of keeping us on our toes.
Yeah, it really doesn't feel like there's a singular big bad. Like, you have that, like, jerk senator who's kind of been not great, but also he's not prominent enough to feel like a big bad. You have John Walker, who's kind of gone and really nuts at this point, but he feels less like a big bad and more just like definitely a bad guy and an antagonist, but you're kind of just like, can you go away? You know?
We haven't even talked about Batroc. He came back.
Yeah. Right. And he did say he wants to kill the Falcon, so he could pop up in the last episode too.
Well, Falcon killed all his homies at the beginning. It was a great action scene, but it was kind of brutal.
Yeah.
First
I think John Walker needs to show up in the next episode and just like demolish a ton of people on his own and just like be some savage beast. And I think that the new Captain America, Falcon, and John Walker are gonna have to have like an epic standoff. I think those two need to go at it for a very, very cool showdown. Yeah, between them. Yeah. Because you got the old, Psycho Cap, and then you got the new Cap, and that just has to happen.
I bet you $100 that we're gonna get an allusion to the Captain America versus Captain America fight in Endgame.
Yeah.
Like that kind of framing. I bet you 100% we'll get
cinematography,
kind of framing, or
shield to shield, maybe shield to shield.
Yeah, or just that. It's something to make you think of it. You know what I mean? Think of the Captain America.
Some kind of reference to it.
Yeah. Or at the end he'll be like, I'm cutting America's ass or whatever.
Yeah, I just pictured John Walker like running through a bunch of people, like bashing them with the shield, screaming, "I'm Captain America."
Well, that's kind of funny, but I could actually see that because he wants everyone's his enemy. Like everyone's his enemy. Even the Flag Smashers. Yeah, I mean, even the Flag Smashers. Like Sam's gonna want to stop, but he's not gonna want to take out. But there's no rules for John Walker.
Yeah, sure. I think he's still going to be trying to talk Carly down. Like, they're way past that point, but I feel like he's still going to be trying.
Yeah.
Well, because I mean that's a quality of his character and his Captain America's character in general, right? He's not giving up on people. 1,000%.
All right, let's see. Well, I was just gonna say, I think if John Walker hadn't killed that guy last episode, they probably would have had an actual chance of talking Carly down.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, he had her. It was about to happen.
It was right there.
Yeah.
I don't think she would have. I still don't.
I
think
don't
she would've
necessarily
changed her
think
mind.
she would have like changed and not been like doing the flag smasher thing. I just think she may not have been going full let's
Full
kill
bore.
a bunch of people thing.
Oh, another thing too. They threatened his family, but his family, I mean, I'm assuming they left momentarily, but obviously they're back at the house. You think that they'll be in any danger next episode?
Could be, maybe.
I think there's a chance that Carly has people watching them, and I think when Sam goes to New York, that's definitely going to be an issue.
For sure.
Yeah, it's a possibility. Or this episode could have been like the bow tie on like the family part, and then this next episode is just
Yeah.
its own thing.
Yeah. We're definitely gonna get an hour-long episode next time. I wonder if it'll be even longer than that. That'd be cool. It was cool having the extra time for this one because at some point I was like, "Oh, it's gonna end," but I was like, "Oh," Kayla was like, "We still got 20 minutes." Like, yes.
Yeah.
And like the thing with all these episodes, the shortest one has been about 50 minutes, and then this one was an hour, like solid. So they've all been pretty close to each other time frame wise.
Mm-hmm.
I love the pacing of this.
Me too.
What's it called? Way better than 30-minute episodes.
I mean, it was like some of them were like 24, weren't they, at the beginning?
Yeah.
I remember the first one was like 22 in terms of like actual plot line.
Yeah. Just miles leaps better.
Well, it's crazy
Right.
how much we really got from this episode because we were saying like it felt a little slower, but really looking at it, they covered so much.
Seriously, it was mostly talking. I think that's the thing is it was mostly talking, but that covered so much information.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's take it to the chats. Let's get everyone watching involved. Let's see what they're thinking about this.
For sure.
Brown Babe says Carly told Sam she wouldn't hurt them. I think she may change her mind. That was before one of her people was killed. I think she is. I think not.
She's radical.
Yeah, not as far gone as like John Walker, but I think she's a little bit past the whole I like Sam. I'm gonna try and keep him out of it.
Yeah.
And also, she doesn't trust him. You got to see from her perspective too. Like, it's appeared that Sam set her up.
Also, Sam was fighting with Walker during that like battle. So
At the end of the last one.
Yeah, she has no reason to really think that Sam is against him at this point.
I mean, exactly. Sam was trying to talk her down, and it seemed like everything was cool. Then all of a sudden, Walker busts in like, "Yeah, I'm gonna, you're under arrest," type of deal. So,
yeah,
I wouldn't buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously,
I wouldn't buy it.
John Walker, ruiner of the day.
Mm-hmm. Just worst.
All right, what else we got going on in the comments section here?
Let's see. I know there was a couple good ones. Ryan's watching in the chat from the Illuminerdi. Ryan Beta.
Hey, what's up, man?
He's got a couple good ones. Shay, obviously, he's helping us with the stream and being in the chat. Let me see.
Someone said PvP says I feel like maybe Sam might lose that fight because it's kind of unfair. So he's talking about the fight between him and US Agent. I think Sam's got to win. Sam's got to win the fight, right?
You think so?
Series has to end on a happy note. So.
I mean, Sam held his own pretty well when him and Bucky were taking him on, and Sam held his own against the Dora Milaje even without the wings, where Walker got pummeled. So I feel like Sam's really good with the wings. He uses them very strategically, and it's very impressive. And I feel like if he also has the shield and he has wings that Walker can't break, I feel like he can really hold his own. I'm not as concerned about him in that situation. I almost feel like Walker is deteriorating so much that he isn't going to have the strategic mindset he's going to need.
He's just going to go like 100% full bore into it, thinking.
I'm interested to see if the Wakandans snuck any extra tech in those wings. You know what I mean?
Oh, me too. I've been wondering about that in Bucky's arm, but I don't think I think probably Bucky at this point wouldn't want the extra tech in his arm.
They changed Falcon's suit into the white Falcon Zord. You know how the wings kind of shut like this. Shoot stuff. They added a bunch of crazy Wakanda tech in there.
And then speaking of upgrades, like I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe in the comics with the new Captain America, the Sam Wilson Captain America, the new shield he has is actually an upgraded shield as well. So I mean, maybe there are surprises in store. Who knows? That'd be really cool to see if they take things to the next level.
We'll see.
How do you think U.S. Agent's shield is gonna look? Like, is it gonna look kind of just like a bad knockoff, or is it gonna look pretty decent?
It looks smaller, but I was actually kind of shocked at the end. It looked like he was actually kind of making it look okay. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not gonna compare to the real thing, obviously, but I don't think it'll look like a piece of crap.
At first, it looked like he was gluing on his medals with super glue or something like that.
Oh yeah,
like an art project or something like that. But hopefully, the final version looks fantastic.
We'll see. Yeah,
I was always a fan of, like, in the comics, U.S. Agent's shield had like that darker tint of blue. It wasn't like the royal Captain America blue. It was more of like that, just that darker tint.
Yeah.
And who knows, that the new character, what's her name? I don't even know her name.
I was going
It's
with
a very long name.
Val. She said to call her Val, but not really. I was like,
Contessa de la Fontaine.
Hopefully, she takes a look at U.S. Agent's shield and is like, you know what? Here, take this instead.
Pity. She feels bad.
She takes it and then just tosses it over her shoulder, Luke Skywalker style.
On that note, I do think that we'll see him get the darker U.S. Agent costume, whether he just spray paints it himself or he gets it from Val or whatever it may be, because Marvel has to sell those toys and get extra looks for their characters.
Yep.
That's
sure.
right.
Do you think that he still has the Captain America costume? Is he gonna go in that? Because I would assume the guard would have taken it.
Good question. Yeah.
Well, if he's going rogue and they didn't take it, I'll say he spray paints it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
or,
for sure.
Something to,
maybe a black or something.
Black.
Yeah, they have to have both have new looks when they're facing off each other, because they're taking things into the future one way or the other, right?
Definitely.
All right. JD Lint says, can't wait to see Sam and Batroc fight to get a rematch. Yeah, but actually on the ground. Because one of the best scenes in Winter Soldier was the fight between Captain America and Batroc. So
that was a solid fight scene. Yeah.
Yeah. So get that rematch would be awesome. And he's Batroc the Leaper, and he's known for his flips and stuff. And we see that Sam can get down with the acrobatics. So yeah, good one, JD. Good one, Lint. I like that.
Was that Sam or was that a stunt double?
That was a stunt double. Come on, man. That was top line CGI or something.
Oh man.
It's like one of those 70s movies. You see him flipping at someone different and it comes back and it's him.
I watched this Family Guy episode last night where the car was giving Stewie and Brian directions, and part of it was something like switch out for a stunt driver, but make it pretty obvious or something.
I was really impressed with Sam's acrobatics. I did not expect that. It was way more he picked it. I'm assuming either he's already knows how to do that or he picked it up crazy fast.
Yeah, I would assume so. You think about it, he has to be super agile to get around the Falcon wings and the fly like he does, and so it makes sense.
That must take a lot of core strength.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah, I mean, just thinking about it practically, it has to.
Sure.
Right. Yeah.
So PvP asked or comments, what's interesting is why New York of all places? I got a feeling we're gonna we're gonna see a cameo from Kingpin or Daredevil.
Yeah. No.
If we're gonna see that, cool. That's not coming till No Way Home, I think.
Good call. I mean, I think if we would have got a cameo like that, this would have been an episode for it, because I think that everything has to be tied up in this final episode, and we don't want you thinking, too many other places. They want you to, finish up the storyline that they started.
Yeah, New York makes sense to me just because that's where kind of the UN stuff is centralized in the United States.
Sure.
No, certainly. I mean, I'm sure that's probably what GRC is, their UN headquarters.
Yeah. We knew the GRC was kind of this bureaucratic group, but it's been sort of based on the commercial, it didn't seem like they were trying to say it was government specific. So the fact that it really is a government thing, it's a UN thing, was interesting.
Absolutely. All right, so H-Town Boss actually has an interesting comment. He said, it's a callback to the comics because Black Panther actually made Falcon's wings. I actually did not know that.
I didn't know that either. Very cool.
Huh.
Very cool.
All right.
Very, very cool. That's what's up. All right. All in the Game says Shuri's going to be really busy designing new tech for the Avengers going forward. Can't wait to see what Home Depot Cap does next. Next week.
Home Depot Cap. I've been calling him Discount Cap the whole time.
You
Discount.
win the
$4
internet
store
tonight, All in the
Cap.
Game. You
That's
win tonight.
amazing.
That's great.
That comment made my night.
That's
Right?
Home Depot Cap versus like Shuri's wings.
It's also just great. I had to go to Home Depot today for something for work. It was just, oh man.
Pick up some extra parts.
Yeah, right.
Building that shield.
Oh yeah, gotta get that welding stuff.
So, do we think we're gonna see Val next episode?
I would say if we do, it's gonna be something like her either giving John Walker like information or like equipment, or possibly something like really at the end if John Walker's in jail or something, maybe recruiting him for the Thunderbolts.
I agree. She'll show up probably when he's defeated, and offer her services, or offer him a way out if he were to fight with their team or something like that. She'll be back. Yeah.
Like spinning the gel keys around her fingers, like I got an opportunity for you.
I'm here to
Classic
talk to you about the Thunderbolt Initiative.
So Brown Babe has two more comments. She said Carly told Sam that she wouldn't hurt them. And then she also commented that Luke Cage cameo. And I just want everyone to keep your expectations low for the cameos.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I really don't think that we're going to get any of that. I think we have all the pieces in place that they intend to put it here.
Yeah, like Marvel just got the rights back to all the Netflix characters. I think it's going to be a while till we see any of them like really in action.
But yeah, I would love to
We
see
don't
Luke
even
Cage in
know
the MCU.
we don't even know if they're gonna have the same actors play them. Like there are
For sure.
rumors about what's his name, Charlie Cox being Daredevil, but is that really Daredevil? Because there's a multiverse movie, and we have no idea. So
Yeah, there were rumors about Jessica Jones showing up in She-Hulk.
I've learned to not expect anything after fake Pietro turned into Ralph Boner.
Man.
Oh man.
I still find that hilarious.
Oh, I mean, it's hilarious, but it's also just like, really?
Well, I love that the director like specifically said in an interview with a podcast that he enjoyed the Mandarin like flip that happened in Iron Man.
Should have seen it coming.
3. So yeah.
His name's Boner.
Right.
Multiverse Pietro got reduced to a boner joke.
I mean, it's. I don't want to harp on WandaVision too long. But
No, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's totally fair.
But Evans, he's a great actor. They could have utilized him better.
Yeah.
Seeing him in MCU would have been great.
I'm so sorry if I pronounced this
Bottom
wrong.
line, after that, I'm not expecting any major cameos, and that'll help them, be more exciting when they do come.
Yeah. I also wouldn't necessarily expect a major cameo in a finale like this unless it's a post-credit scene.
Yeah.
Right.
So Shay had an interesting comment. He goes, Sharon Carter and Valentina are working together. ... Watch. I can definitely see that. I can see that.
At this rate, I'm not putting anything past Sharon.
I'm so sorry if I pronounced this wrong, but Ashish Gandane asked, "Who do we think is Power Broker?"
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit earlier. I mean, the signals and the clues seem to be pointing to Sharon Carter's way. I mean, she has all the satellites. She has all the power. She's making moves.
Yeah, I'm thinking either her or Contessa.
Yeah, the only reason I would at this point be thinking maybe not Sharon is why is she working with the Flag Smashers if she's been hunting them this whole time? That's the only thing that's throwing me off about it right now.
Exactly.
Shay says they're both members of Femme Fatale. Man, yeah, there's going to be a lot of Wikipedia search engines going to be going crazy over the next few days. That's for sure.
Yes.
They're introducing all kinds of minor characters, expanding the universe.
Do you think Sharon will get her pardon? Because I've seen no evidence that she should.
Nah, I don't want her to, man. Right? I want her and Carly to face off. See what happens.
And
Yeah.
I don't, like I said, I don't know what to think about Sharon right now.
Depends on if she's working for someone higher who can get it for her, and she's like doing anything. What's that called? In order to do it.
Yeah.
By any means
Um,
necessary.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Let's
not
get
sure Sam has
conspiratorial.
the clout.
Did she take the serum? She kicked like 10 guys' ass a couple episodes ago.
You're right.
True.
Kind of crazy.
Right?
Yeah,
she took him out easy too.
Yeah, she took out about 12 guys.
I don't think Sam would be able to get her a pardon because I don't think anyone would listen to Sam.
No.
I mean, yeah, like we said a couple episodes, he couldn't get
Maybe
along
if he
with
was
what's going
Captain
on.
America.
That's true, actually.
Well,
That's
I
true.
don't know because I feel like he's not. I don't think the government's going to be okay with him being Captain America. Like he's going to take it on, but
Yeah, no, I don't think
We
the
don't want
government's
him to
gonna
be
get
the government's Captain
Yeah.
America anyway. We want him just to be Captain America.
it. Exactly, and the government ain't gonna like that.
one of the things
know-
that was really cool was when Val said the shield wasn't actually property of the government.
That was
Yeah.
interesting.
That was a little
She
thread.
didn't indicate like who she thought it was property of though, which was pretty
Seems like
interesting
it's
about
gray
that.
area.
Yeah.
It's a legal gray area.
I think that's exactly what she said. Yeah.
Literally what
Yeah,
she
I mean-
said. Yeah.
And then on that same note, one thing I thought we'd hear more about in this series is about the Sokovia Accords. Like, is that even still a thing? Like,
I thought we were going to hear a lot more about the Accords in this show, honestly.
yeah. Because it seems like Sam and Bucky are just operating like rogue agents, and no one's seeming to care that much, and
Right?
they steal the shield back. I don't know.
Like
Yeah.
they mentioned the Accords in WandaVision, but they haven't mentioned it at all in this one.
Shay said it's vibranium, so it's property of Wakanda. He's asking a question. But yeah, I mean, we've already seen that they don't. The whole thing with vibranium is that other countries don't really respect where they get it from. They originally stole it somehow in the beginning to make the shield in the first place. So
I
Yeah,
would think
exactly.
it would be property of like Stark since his dad made it.
That's what I would have thought.
Yeah. That would
Yeah.
have been my guess.
Tony did say he made it for him. So
Yeah. Well, and we saw him make it.
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's what I would think. I also think if not necessarily if it was property of Wakanda, but if they considered it their property, they would have taken it.
Oh yeah, they wouldn't have held back.
right, oh true. I mean, they almost. I don't
They
know what
almost did,
the other
right?
one's name is. Yeah, she was about to take it, and I was like, no, honestly,
They were
Yeah.
close. Yeah.
yeah.
That would have
Hmm.
been such an interesting twist.
Right.
They just walk off with the
Absolutely.
shield, and the other four are just standing there like, what now?
Where does the series go from here?
Property of Pepper Potts.
It's still one of my favorite moments of the whole show is when Ayo just disabled Bucky's arm and he just looked at it like it personally offended him.
I thought that was so interesting because
Yeah.
like
Look-
there was a debate with like Marvel fans about if she should have done that or if it was wrong. I'm totally on her side. Like, Bucky, you're betraying them. This is why
Right.
they needed the failsafe in case you did crazy stuff and were like attacking people and stuff. And you let
For
Zemo
sure.
out. You're attacking them for trying to arrest Zemo.
No,
Of course
Bucky-
that happened.
Bucky did still say he has nightmares, and
Yeah,
that
finally admitted it.
there's yep. That
I
there's
love the fact that he'll
hint.
admit it to Sam, but he won't admit it to a therapist.
Therapist was mean. She was a really bad
Bro.
therapist.
Sam is a better
Terrible shrink.
therapist than the therapist. Yeah.
Exactly, and that's saying something.
Like, one of the things I loved when he's like, oh, you're taking out the notepad. That's really passive aggressive. Like, the fact that she uses that as an intimidation tool is like the opposite of what you're supposed to do with actual patients. Like, they're supposed to feel comfortable.
Right?
Oh, Lynn says the shield is property of Pepper Potts. Oh, there you
Maybe, technically.
go.
She's
Maybe.
probably like, have it.
Well, it's Gwyneth Paltrow, so she'll only want to be in it for like 30 seconds anyways.
She won't even know
Do
what
you
she's
want
in either.
this? No,
Yeah.
I'm good.
She-
What movie does this belong to?
what movie am I shooting?
the one with Robert Downey Jr. in it. Yeah.
Oh,
Like, this is like Spider-Man, right?
Man, she screwed herself over with that.
That was so,
I mean,
so
let's be honest. She's not the only actor or actress who probably has that feeling, or they don't know what movie they're in. They're just
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure. I'm
Well,
sure.
if you get like no script, you only get like the lines that you have. If you're in just essentially a post-credit scene, how would you know what movie you're in?
Well, yeah,
Right,
she
right.
was only in that movie for like a minute.
I don't
Like
think
in
you could actually-
Endgame, only Robert Downey Jr. and Benedict Cumberbatch got the script, right? So
Yeah.
yeah.
I just love that Tom Holland's like, I have no idea what's happening. You can ask me anything. I have no idea.
No, my favorite with him is that one image of him. I think it's of him and Tony on Titan, and he's like, Tom Holland looks like he has no idea what's happening. And then he commented, "That's because I had no idea what was happening."
So let's see. Lint 324, aka JD, says Sharon is part of New Hydra? Question mark. You know, it's interesting. For those of you that weren't here for the pre-show, I talked about a theory that the Nerdist actually brought up, and it's called I'm calling it the hashtag the Apple theory. And it's because director Ryan Johnson during Knives Out explained that in Hollywood and in the industry in general, Apple has a clause where they only let good guys use their Apple phones. So anytime you see an iPhone, it's always in the hands of a good guy. And if you look at any movie, bad guys never use their phones. So Sharon has been using phones. That was kind of the tip off that something is. So yeah, I mean, like, you know, I've heard that Hydra uses Androids. You know, it's very possible.
That would feel like such a like not disappointment, but kind of just like a slap in the face if Sharon Carter is part of Hydra.
Yeah.
I mean, she's already kind of slapping in the face of her legacy, the Carter legacy.
All right, who's the villains on this panel? I have an iPhone here, so yeah.
iPhone.
I have Android.
Oh.
I tried to warn you guys. You guys weren't taking the hints.
Very
You
sus,
weren't taking the hints.
Brax is sus.
I gotta have 2 buttons on the bottom. Man. Makes all the difference.
Yeah, I'm using it as my video thing right now, but I'm on iPhone. So.
But I'll confuse you. I have a laptop and a PC though, so.
Okay.
Anti-hero.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. All right, Shay's trolling. He's saying Android phones are cheap to use as burner phones since she is on the TL. Well, that's true. Samsung is better anyways. All right, that's what's up, Shay. Agreed. Supervillains unite.
Oh, man.
No, got a lot of Android people. There you go. Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah.
You know, supervillains make the world go round. We all know that.
Oh, man.
What do you guys speculate will be let's assume we're going to have 2 post-credit scenes like we did with WandaVision. What do you guys think we would get with that?
Well, one of them I'm betting is Thunderbolts. But I don't know about the other one.
I better not get. I hate to go back to WandaVision, but it better not be no scroll reveal because because people are saying that new woman is like a scroll. So that might be a reveal for a post credit potentially.
That's possible, but I think they're holding the scrolls off till later because the big payoff is if you really aren't expecting it later down the line.
Mm-hmm.
What I would like to see, but I don't think we're going to see, is we do know that there's a Wakanda series in development. So it would be cool to see something going on in Wakanda just to kind of tease. They're going to start shooting Black Panther 2 in a few months. So, you know, it would be cool to kind of see a wink of what's going on over there. But I doubt that. Yeah, I bet you the second one, I agree with you, TC, on your theory. But in the second one, I think it's usually like a joke or like more like personal story-based thing. So maybe it might be something with the kid. Oh, I know what it is. Patriot.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Either that or like the last scene of like the real show.
I was thinking it might be because I doubt his grandfather would be okay with him being Patriot. You know, I feel like he would be against it. So I almost feel like it could be something where he sees Sam fighting on TV and kind of has this like, huh, moment.
Where I could do this.
That's exactly how I saw it. There you go.
Yeah.
Right here. All right, guys. Well, let's wrap it up for this week because we have a big week to prepare for next time.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any final thoughts about what we're going to expect or the week to come?
I think it's going to be a full-on like battle royale situation where Sam and Bucky versus like everyone.
Throughout the week, I'm expecting, outside of the show, I'm expecting a lot of noise from all the different actors and the film different comments. I'm expecting them to start hyping it up and throwing a misdirection / lower expectations / raise our expectations in different ways to get us ready for this final episode.
Yeah.
What do you think of TC?
I think I don't want to read anything about it. I think I don't want to listen to any actors talk about it. I think I just want to go in blind and be wowed.
Man. Whatever I write about it this week, I'm going to try to forget it as soon as possible, just to try to have that experience, because I can't wait to find out what happens next week.
Yeah.
Man. Well, we will be here. Join us here at 11:40 next Thursday night. Make sure to share this, tell your friends about it, subscribe to the Illuminerdi, give us the thumbs up so we can keep this moving, and we're going to keep the ball rolling. We're excited. We're always watching. We're the Illuminerdi. See you next time.
See you guys.
Peace out, guys.